that are not here. And today, my goal for today is number one, to welcome you to the office, welcome you to KW. You've made a fantastic choice. I have been at Keller Williams for a little over 10 years, about almost 16 years in the real estate market, all in Metro Atlanta. Was with one of their company first. I was there for about 5.5 years, one of their top performers. Made the move over to Roswell KW at the end of 2010. Have been there ever since, or have been here ever since. I have a small team, a buyer's agent, about to bring on another full-time agent and a full-time assistant. And I was team leader for a year and a half. Right before COVID, moved to the productivity coaching role where I've been since March. So that's a kind of a brief on me. Every day I am working with agents at variety of experience levels, variety of production levels, and helping them achieve their goals. You know, in short, I find that agents pretty much get into the business. Can't hear. Can everyone else hear?
Yeah.
Sarah, do you want to maybe hop out and hop right back in, see if that fixes it? Raven and Anthony, can you hear me? I'm just trying to figure out if it's me or if it's Sarah's computer. Sarah, why don't you hop out and I'll let you right back in and we'll figure this thing out.
Right. I can hear you. I had to go off of Bluetooth in order to hear you though. So maybe that's what's going on. This is Raven. I can hear you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's Anthony can hear you.
Like I said before, apparently there's some Zoom issues across the country. So that might be the reasoning for the issue. Let me wait till Sarah gets back. Here she comes. Thank you for your patience. So we have a group of, as of today, 76 agents in the productivity coaching group. These are agents of all experience levels, all production levels, young, old, men, women, a little bit of everyone. And what we're trying to do is help them, in short, helping them achieve their goals. Okay. What I find is generally their goal is that just about every single person gets into the real estate business for a similar reason. And what I've found that to be is to have a great quality of life. Okay. Sometimes that manifests itself in more flexibility, more control, more income, more options, right? More flexibility, these kind of things. And so my goal is to help you use the systems and tools and technologies of Keller Williams and pair that with our coaching and training and culture and pair that with 300 plus agents at our market center to help you ultimately sell the number of homes you want to live the life that you want to live. Okay. So I want to share with you our mission statement. And then what I'd love to do is maybe just go around in a quick circle and give everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves. And I want to make sure I'm kind of making the presentation in a way that makes sense for everybody. Okay. And that touches on the things that are most important to you. So here is the mission statement. Okay. Our mission is to create a community of learning-based and purpose-driven leaders focused together on accelerating the trajectory of our businesses and the quality of our lives. Using the powerful leverage of Keller Williams models, systems, and technology, we intend to create abundant lives for ourselves and for those we support. Okay. So again, at the end of the day, I think our job is actually quite simple. It's let's get super clear on what it is. Donnie, let's take you for example. What it is, Donnie, that you want out of this real estate business? What are we trying to achieve? Is it a certain income level? Is it a certain lifestyle? Is it a certain usage of your time? What is it? Why is that important to you? You don't have to answer yet. Why is that important to you? Right? What's the emotional connection? Then we show you the plan, right? If you do this, 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 and this, and this, and this, you're on track. If you don't do that stuff, you're not probably on track, right? And then to hold you accountable to your behaviors, right? So if you say you want to do 20 sales in a year yet your activities don't even prove to me that you're a real estate agent, right? Then we got to disconnect somewhere. Okay. So once you tell me that they're your goals, I want to help you get there. Now they're super important to me too, right? And that's kind of an overview, very, very briefly, of course, of the mission behind our organization. So can we just take a minute or so to, if you could just introduce yourself, maybe tell us briefly what you are, your background, how you came to Keller Williams, and then some of your preliminary goals for, let's say, the first year in the business. Donnie, why don't you go first?
All right, cool. Yeah, my name's Donnie Wall. I actually just passed my exam this past Saturday, by the way, Bill.
Nice.
I know you.
Congratulations. We've been waiting to hear the news.
Yep, passed, and I just picked up my applied for my licensing today. Got the Wall certificate, all that. So we are good to go.
Beautiful. Come on in. Let's make it official.
Yeah. I talked to Robin and everything. I'm just waiting for a call. Nice. But yeah, no, I'm a home evaluator for Aero Exterminators, and the majority of my business comes from realtors. I do wind infestation reports for a bunch. My company partners with Keller Williams. That's actually how I got introduced. And then I've always been intrigued by the real estate side just by inspecting houses, talking to realtors, buyers, sellers. And then I actually initially took the real estate class just to kind of know my clientele personally and see what they go through. So help my business as a home evaluator for Aero. And then I realized I really enjoyed it. And, I started getting more and more into it. And I'm like, I want to do this, part-time for now, at least, just basically to supplement my income, get the experience, who knows, maybe transition to full-time. But I've always loved the game of real estate, if that makes the sales aspect. I've been in sales for about 10 years, and the relationships you get to build up. And then also just the freedom as well. Like you said, right now I'm working 7 to 5 home evaluating. It'd be really nice to try, make the money I want at my own pace, my own business.
Yep.
But, for now, I don't mind. I want to do it part-time, sell, 5 to 10 a year and see what happens.
Beautiful. The cool part about this business is it's math-based, right? So if whatever number you tell me you want to make or whatever it is, there's a plan for that. Then the question is if you're telling me I got to do this stuff, how am I going to arrange the rest of my life to do it? Do I need help? Do I need to hire people? Do I need to work on a team? Do I need to work in tandem with people? So whatever the income goal is, there's a way to get there. The question is are you willing to do it, and are you able to do it? Make sense?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you for sharing. Sarah, would you like to go next?
Absolutely. So my name is Sarah Bullard, and also, by the way, Aero Exterminators are I exclusively work with them just personally. I've had, I don't know if you know Chad Stewart, but he's been our guy for probably 7 years or not. But anyway, so I got my license in August, September, I believe, and I joined a brokerage, and I've been with them for the last 5 months. But and I've definitely learned, but just wasn't getting any traction or the level of training that I was looking for. I also need to scale my business according to what I can do right now. I have 4 kids that age range from kindergarten, 4th grade, 7th grade, 9th grade, and a husband who works full time as well. And so I just, I want to scale that according to what my life will allow, and then build up to something that would be amazing. But so we're really excited to join Keller Williams. I have family members in Keller Williams, and they just love it.
Yeah.
And have been trying to talk me into it for a while, and I finally stopped resisting.
Beautiful. What's if you could flash forward a year, what have you done in the first year in the business? I mean, you're going to have better systems, technology, support, the models you need to scale. What do you see as possible?
You mean, what am I looking as far as closings, like how many closings I would like to do in a
Yeah,
year?
or your income goal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I set a goal of working with 20 families this year. That's what I'd like to do. But what my education goal is, I dislike not feeling confident in the information that I have. There are a lot of holes in the training that I've received so far.
Okay.
And you can have a beautiful yacht, but if it's got holes in it, it's still going to sink. And that's what I really was frustrated about, and what I'm looking for is solid training that people, when they ask me questions, that they know that the information I'm giving them is concrete.
I love that. I love that. You said a number of things which that I appreciate you saying. Number one, I want to sell 20 homes. Sounds a lot different than I want to help 20 families. Love that. And like you suggested, it's systems. It's putting the right foundations into place. It's getting good at the things that matter most. And it's about getting super clear on the type of lifestyle you're looking for so that we can build a business around that lifestyle rather than like, I'll eat at home for dinner with my family when I tried all day to fill the appointment slot, but I couldn't fill it. So I guess I'll have dinner with
Right.
y'all. How does that make the family feel? Right.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Anthony, can you go
Absolutely.
next?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, awesome. Also newly licensed, actually just got my license on Wednesday, picked it up today. Looking forward to getting started with Keller Williams. Know some people that have started with Keller Williams, had nothing but great things to say about them. Met with Robin. We did a phone call, but I need to actually sit down kneecap to kneecap with somebody to make sure that their body language and everything like that is on the up and up. She showed me ultimate transparency.
I'll move the camera down so you can watch my body a little bit better.
You're good.
I'm willing to be evaluated today.
Yeah, appreciate that. But it's a big thing. I was a retired law enforcement officer. I did that for over 20 years in New York. I own my own business in maintenance, dealing with solar powered kiosks in Atlanta. I love money. Who doesn't? I was also in sales. I did financial planning part-time for many years with Primerica. So I enjoy the aspect of sitting down with people, helping them make, life-changing decisions, just as I'm making a life-changing decision for myself. So ultimately, I'm here to get my feet wet, plant this new seed here in the real estate business, and it's going to be endless. Hopefully,
Love it.
my kids that are, they're older, they're in their 20s, but they've seen my work ethic. They know I bring a lot to the table. So they just grab dad's coattails, and I leave a legacy for them. That's important.
Love it. You probably came across our belief system at KW about legacies worth leaving, right?
Mhm.
Businesses worth owning.
Yes, sir.
That stuff speaks. That's speaking my language for sure.
Mhm.
All right, awesome. Thanks for sharing. Raven, what can you share with us? Tell us who you are.
Hey, so I actually came over from the same agency as Sarah. We know each other. Yeah. So basically came across the same situation there where great group of people over there, but just lacking in some of the training. There were a lot of holes in that. And a little bit about me. I was in the medical field before going into real estate. I actually got out of the medical field right before all this COVID stuff, thankfully.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids, military family background. So we've only been living in Georgia ourselves for about 2 years now. But my husband just transitioned from active duty to reserves, and he's also going to school full time. So I was looking at something where I could care for people and serve others in the same way I did with the medical field. But where I had a little more control over the schedule and things like that, because I do have 3 small children. They're
Okay.
all still very young. So, and my husband, even though he wants to be there, can't always be there all the time. So, you know, real estate just seemed like the best fit, where I could use those caring practices I learned from that and carry it over and still also care for my family. So
I love that. Yeah. You know, real estate is it's a very easy, low-paying job. Okay, you actually don't have to do anything. Okay, it's a pretty challenging, high-paying job. The beautiful thing is you can do whatever you want when you want, right? You just have to be comfortable with the results, right? So if somebody says to me that, like, hey, I don't want to make any cold calls, say, okay, great. So that's fine. So of the people you are willing to call, are you currently getting enough appointments to hit your financial goals? If the answer to that is yes, then hey, high fives all around. You don't have to call any strangers. I don't blame you. But if the answer to that is no, well, what are we going to do to make an adjustment, right? Are we going to make a few more calls to the people we do know? Or are we going to say something different? Are we going to practice better? Are we going to possibly call some strangers? Like, what are we going to do to get back on track? The beautiful thing is that's totally up to you, right? If you don't want to, you know, work with every single person that comes into your world, you don't have to, right? One of the things that we talk a lot about is we say a lot of agents will hold on to a poor client because they have a lack of prospects, and they have a lack of prospects because they've done a lack of prospecting. Right? The beautiful thing is, Raven, you're not required to prospect at any certain time, right? So if you're, you know, you got to drop a kid off at school, or you got to pick a kid up because they're sick, or you got to have lunch with your husband, whatever it is, you can do whatever you want. You just have to make sure that in the times that you're working, I like to say, when you're working, you're all in working. And when you're not working, you're all out, right? This is about a life worth living, right? It's not about making calls 24/7. It's about being super, super strategic with your time so that you can get what you want out of this business. And all the things that are important to you, like spouses and children and hobbies and charities and all that kind of stuff, can be fulfilled as well. Make sense?
yeah, and that's kind of where I am right now in my life, where I need efficiency. I need my business to run like a well-oiled machine. And just in this season of my life, I need things to be as easy as possible because I'm juggling a lot of things. I do have like goals I want to reach for the year, but definitely making sure I'm well educated in contracts and everything like that. I got licensed in September, so been in it for a little bit. Actually just closed on my first deal Friday. So, but no help or support with that. So I'm looking forward to joining Keller Williams and, you know, getting that support I need, and just having my business run as efficiently as possible for this
Beautiful.
time in my life.
All right, you came to the right place. All right, last but not least, Prabhat.
Yeah. Hi, Bill. Yeah. So, just about my background, I'm an IT professional, and have over 20 years of experience. And so real estate, actually, I was, because since I've been in IT for more than 20 years, I was thinking of maybe switching to another profession. So I was, researching, looking, what should I do? So this real estate excited me, because it's like you're helping, others buy their homes, maybe dream homes. The satisfaction you get if they get a right home, right? So that also, apart from, whatever, money you make, but the satisfaction you probably get if people are happy if you're selling them homes, right, of their dreams.
Yes.
So that's another thing. And other than that, this profession gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of independence, right? You can work on your own time. You know, it's so flexible. Like it's like not a 9 to 5 job, right? So that gives another uh, you know point for me to just explore this and then see how it goes. So right now, since I'm already a full-time, I have a full-time job, so I would start slowly, maybe as a part-time, and then eventually, when I think achieve um, a break even or something, right? So I will probably switch as a full-time to real estate. So that's what my goal is. So that's what I'm thinking right now. So and uh, yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Thank you guys for sharing. I kind of gave you a little bit of intro on myself. My wife's name is Rachel. We've been married for 12 years. We've got 2 little kids, an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. So I know exactly what it's like to have children and distractions and possible distractions. And, we're all kind of navigating these challenges of COVID and Lord knows what else. And one of the things that I love the most about our group is we're just one more layer of support for one another, right? Somebody needs some piece of paperwork signed, or somebody needs a sign picked up, or host an open house, or help with a contract, or whatever. We've got a great group. Let me take a minute to kind of give you a good overview of the program, and likely we'll have some time for some Q&A at the end. Here is a good overview of the program. Okay, we really follow the models of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So briefly, what those are is, the first is the economic model. This is one of the first things that we're going to do together. Is we take the essentially the amount of money that you want to make, or the number of families that you want to help, right? And you translate that through this model to, what am I supposed to do each day? Right? How many people am I supposed to talk to? How many appointments am I supposed to make? How many appointments am I supposed to hold? Per week, per month, per quarter, that kind of thing. So for example, if I want to make $100,000 a year, then I need to go on 3 appointments a week, or 3 appointments a month. And I need to take 2 of those, and I'll probably close 1 of them, and I'll make my 100, right? So we have a mathematical formula for what is the effort that you need to put out there? What are the metrics that we're paying attention to, so that we can always be on target for our family's health goal or our financial goal? Make sense? Let's say the result of that is that we need 30 appointments for the whole year. The next question is, where are those going to come from, right? So we spend a considerable amount of time working on encouraging you to grow your database, or to first of all, compile your database, right? So, what are my social media friends, what people on my cell phone, my old coworkers, my neighbors, my church friends, my kids, my kids' friends' parents, right? Everyone that you possibly know that knows you're a good person, right? That knows you're a person of integrity, that knows you're a hard worker, that knows that you have a genuine interest in helping families, right? Whether it be helping families build wealth, or make investments, or move into the perfect home in the right neighborhood, whatever it may be. If they know that you're a good person, when you share with them that you're in real estate, they're going to naturally want to support you, right? So we want to compile the database. Then we want to say, hey, who in that database is planning on transacting in the next year, let's say? And we want to put some specific focus on those people, so that we can generate appointments and ultimately generate agreements. The 2 other models of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which we'll get to as we build our business, are the budget model, right? So as money's coming into the business and money's leaving the business, is that happening in the appropriate ratios, right? Am I spending enough money on marketing? Am I spending enough money on lead generation? Am I spending enough money on my education? Or am I spending too much, right? So we've done 30-something plus years of research to determine what best practices are. They're not mandates, they're just best practices, okay? And then finally, the organizational model, which is to say, at some point, if you come in and you do all the things that we tell you to do, you're going to wake up one day and say, hey, Bill, you told me to make all these calls, and now I got 6 appointments today, right? I got to drop this off, research this, drop this off, meet with this person, blah, 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 blah. I'm overwhelmed. Say, gosh, it sounds like we need to scale your business. Let's go find somebody to help you with all these administrative tasks and marketing tasks. It's like for some reason, when let's say you were to open up a restaurant, has anyone ever been to a restaurant where there's one person working there? No, right? The restaurant owner knows day one you cannot survive with one person working there, right? How ridiculous would that be if one person was taking the order, seating you, cleaning the tables, making the food, bringing out the food, cleaning up the food, all that, right? So you can think of it much like the same thing with growing a real estate business. At some point, there's going to be, as you're scaling and as you're growing, there's always a new challenge that you're trying to figure out. And that's the importance of being in a community of people that are growing with you, and the importance of having a coach that can walk you through those challenges, right? And kind of let you know, hey, based on where I see you today, in about 3 months, you're going to need to deal with this. So would you like to start thinking about it now? Or if you do this, you won't even have to worry about that, right? Somebody to guide you along as you're building your business. Okay. So those are the 4 models of the real estate agent, or the millionaire real estate agent. The way that we kind of coach through that is here's kind of the weekly rhythm. Okay. Every morning from 8:30 to 9, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9, we have a morning huddle. Every day the huddle has a different theme, right, or a different topic. So today we spent it went a little long, about 45 minutes talking about the purchase and sale agreement. Tomorrow we're going to finish up the purchase and sale agreement. The next day I think we're going to do role play. The next day we're going to do like language skills. So scripts, dialogues, technology, profit share, presentations, pre-listing packages, objection handlers, market data, comping a home, you name it, we've talked about that concept. Okay, all the individual financing documents, putting together mock offers, all of that. Okay, so as I'm learning more and more about how you guys are performing and how you can improve, that is kind of helping me set the curriculum for what topics need to be discussed the most, right? So all of those sessions are recorded. Pretty much right now for the foreseeable future, we're going to be on Zoom. We have been recording these morning sessions pretty much every day since March. So we've got over 400 videos that are hosted on a private YouTube channel that you would have access to immediately upon joining the group. We also have a private Google Drive where I'm adding files pretty much almost every day of whether it be marketing pieces or script books or curriculums or checklists or presentations and these kind of things to help you as you're building your business, right? So you don't have to go searching for it. It's right there to kind of walk you through stuff. Okay. So private YouTube channel, private Google Drive. In addition to the 5 morning huddles per week, for a while we've been doing a success series where we interview a top producer once a week. That is typically Fridays from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and that is recorded as well. So we probably got 20 or so of them in the YouTube page where people generally have some type of specialty. Maybe they do a lot of farming, or they do a lot of open houses, or they do a lot of first-time home buyer seminars or something of that nature. Maybe they do a lot of helping retirees sell their final home and move into a facility or something like that. So most everyone has some type of niche that they have built and perfected to some degree. And you get an opportunity to learn more about how they've built their business and get tips and suggestions from them. We have kind of 2 smaller groups, if you will, of the 76 people. About 3/4 of the people are in what I would call the launch group. The launch group is like basically just getting started to like 3 or 4 units. And then the growth group is beyond that. And each week, each of those groups has a mastermind. So we all come into the Zoom room and we're talking a little bit about kind of the market of the moment, right? What are you experiencing out there? What problems are you facing? Let's congratulate you if congratulations are due. Let's help you navigate whatever you're having an issue with, right? And not only am I kind of the facilitator, but you're going to be able to get information from your peers as well. Make sense so far? Okay, so everything what's that, Raven?
Oh, sorry, I just pushed a button. I was just saying yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
perfect. So everything that I just mentioned is recorded and typically uploaded within a day or so to the YouTube channel. We also have weekly one-on-one coaching. So right when you join the program, we'll put a little bit of time on the calendar, typically 30 to 45 minutes, where we're specifically looking at your goals, getting to know you a little bit better, and working through that first model, the economic model. So we know exactly what are we after, how much money are we trying to make, how many families are we going to try to help. Let's figure out what are the metrics we have to pay attention to, and kind of orienting you to some of the reporting pages and tools and weekly emails and that kind of stuff that we do. So you kind of know where to find everything. Okay. After that, we move to a weekly 15-minute one-on-one coaching session. So Donnie, for example, we'd get together. We're looking specifically at your growth and your progress and your challenges and your successes every week for 15 minutes. And we are reporting our numbers publicly once a week. So we're tracking number of contacts per week, number of people that we add to the database, number of people we add to the pipeline, your buyer and seller appointments and your buyer and seller listings taken, your pendings and your closings. We track all that once a week. Ideally, you're tracking it every day, but we're reporting it once a week. And then when we're on the phone together or Zoom together for our weekly coaching call, we are kind of analyzing, hey, what got in the way? What are you experiencing? Are you having some challenges? Let's celebrate, right? We're really working through your personal situation, okay? We are also, as you guys probably know, part of the Georgia Legacy Group. The Georgia Legacy Group is Roswell, Alpharetta, and Peachtree Corners. The three of those offices have a director of career development. His name is Robert Doyle, and he is kind of oversees all three coaching programs. And they have a couple of offerings each week as well. So as of now, they have a weekly scripts class, a weekly, all this is on Zoom too, a weekly scripts class, a weekly social media and technology class, a weekly advanced skill building class, a weekly assertive prospecting class. Assertive prospecting is essentially cold calling, right? Whether it be for sale by owners, expired listings, or circle prospecting or withdrawn listings. Again, no mandate that you have to participate. They're just opportunities available to you, okay? So there's no shortage of classes. Now, I should have said this at the beginning, but I'll go ahead and say it now. The takeaway that what I don't want you to hear from what I'm saying thus far is that you can't be successful without productivity coaching. I don't believe that's the case. Okay. I want you to understand you joined the #1 training organization in the world. Okay. You got leaders every direction you turn. Okay. We want you to be successful. We want you to hit your goals. We want you to enjoy working here. Right. Productivity coaching is simply an additional layer of support and accountability. So it's kind of like saying, you know, let's say that you wanted to lose 30 pounds between now and the end of the year. Okay. Let's say you took 3 different options. The first option is you weighed yourself on the first of every month and you made adjustments according to your weight, right? The second option is you weighed yourself every Monday morning and you made adjustments to your, based on what the scale said. Or the third option is you weighed yourself every morning and made adjustments based on what the scale said. Which one do you think you'd have the best shot at losing the weight?
Third one.
Every morning, right? The more accountability you allow into your world, the better you're likely going to be at hitting your goals. Make sense? So even what you'll notice, especially I see this in real estate, is the top of the top performers, they pretty much always have a coach, if not multiple coaches, right? LeBron James has got a coach. Tiger Woods has got a coach, several coaches, right? It's not that Tiger Woods' coach is a better golfer than him. It's that Tiger Woods' coach sees things Tiger Woods doesn't see, right? And can call out Tiger Woods if he's not on pace. Make sense? So what I don't want you to hear is, hey, this guy's telling me if I don't join his program, I'm not going to be successful. That's not what I said. What I said is through our relationship, I believe, and please don't hear this in an arrogant way, I believe that 90% of what you can make with me exceeds 100% of what you can make without me. Okay, and that's essentially how I'm paid, which I'm about to go into. Make sense? Okay, cool. Let's talk about how I'm paid. Most coaching relationships, you are going to pay for the coach's time, right? If you go into a gym, let's say, and you get a personal training session, it's $75 or $100 an hour, and whether you get buff or abs is not up to the coach. That's up to you, right? If they paid only when you got abs, man, that's not a good proposition for a weight trainer, right? So that is how you generally pay a coach. This is entirely different. Okay, this is you come into the group. We've got a couple of WhatsApp groups, one for help, one for announcements. We've got the YouTube channel, we've got the Google Drive, we've got the morning sessions, we've got the masterminds, we've got the one-on-one coaching. You take advantage of all the tools, okay? And when you're successful, meaning when you have a closing, then you pay 10% of the gross commission income when you have a closing, okay? We cap that at $10,000 per fiscal year, okay? Meaning if you were to sell $50,000 worth of, if you were to earn $50,000 selling homes, then you'd pay $5,000 for the coaching. If you make $100,000, you'd pay $10,000 for the coaching. If you make $200,000, you'd pay $10,000 for the coaching in the fiscal year. Okay. There is a contract. The contract basically just spells out expectations of both sides and how the money works, but it is not a definitive contract with respect to an end date. You're not like committing to 6 months or committing to a year or something like that. We're basically committing to each other until one of us requests to be released from the program, right? So my job is basically to continue to earn the relationship essentially every day, right? If you find the program to be valuable, you'll stick around. If you don't find the program to be valuable, then you're not going to stick around, right? So my job, quite simply, is let me figure out what this person wants and let me give it to her. Because if I don't give it to her, she's going to leave me. Make sense? Make sense so far? Okay.
Yep.
If you are, there's a couple of you that have been agents for a little while, just as a quick caveat, if you are bringing a pending piece of business into the program, like the properties under contract, we're just waiting for the deal to close, there is no fee. If you have an active brokerage agreement, so you have an active seller listing or an active buyer that's under a buyer brokerage agreement, and you then join the program, rather than paying 10%, it's a 5% fee instead. It's a reduced fee because you've done half the work theoretically, okay? And it's kind of the opposite if you were to leave. If you have a pending deal that we're just waiting to close and you left the program, it'd be the normal 10%. If you have an active agency agreement that's been turned into the office and then you decide to leave the program, then you would pay a reduced fee of 5%. If you leave the program and the next day you earn a piece of business, it would be all yours. Make sense? Okay, one other thing I forgot to tell you guys about is some technology offerings. So both of what I'm going to explain to you are available and you could buy them yourself. They're just not free. So one is called Cole Resource Realty. This is basically the premier option for circle prospecting. So circle prospecting, for example, would be, I got a listing here and I want to call the 1,500 people that live closest to that listing and invite them to, let's say, an open house. Or I wanted to let them know, hey, I'm Sarah, I'm with Keller Williams. I wanted to let you know I just listed your neighbor's house, the Greens. Wanted to see if you knew of anyone that wanted to move into the area. Okay, no, well, thanks for taking a moment to think about that. While I got you on the phone, hey, when it comes to real estate, who do you trust? We don't have a real estate agent right now. Wonderful. Well, listen, what would it take for me to earn that right? Right? As a homeowner, somebody that lives in the community, I want to make sure that when the time comes that you have a question about real estate, you have somebody you can speak to that stays in, that's following the market daily. Would that be helpful to you? Great. Get their number, boom, somebody in your database. Right? Or, hey, yeah, is that a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom? Oh, it's a 4-bedroom. Oh, my brother-in-law is looking for a 4-bedroom. Maybe I'll swing by the open house, right? So it's just an opportunity. These are cold calls. I mean, these are very, very cold calls. But the game is to have relationships and to have conversations, right? The more conversations you have, the more money you will make, the more families you will help, okay? That system is about $1,200 per year. That is free with productivity coaching. Okay, so you simply have to just send me the address and I send you the list of up to 1,500 people that live closest to that address, or we can search by neighborhoods too. You can send me as many of those as you want at any time. Okay, again, that's normally about $1,200 per year, free with PC coaching. We also have something called Vulcan 7, that at vulcan7.com. That's the premier source for expired listings for sale by owners and withdrawn listings. Okay. That service is about $350 a month, and that is free with productivity coaching. So you'll have a login. It's a shared account for PC. You can log in as much as you want and look for expired listings for sale by owners and withdrawn listings and call them at your leisure. Okay. And obviously we have script books and all kinds of stuff like that. So that is 350 times 12, $4,200 right there. So over $5,000 worth of technology expenditures are included with your membership to PC. Any questions on that? All right, we got a quiet bunch here. What kind of thoughts or questions do you have so far?
Bill, I have a question.
Sure.
So since I'm working as a full-time, right, and the coaching starts in the morning from 8 to 8:30, maybe it can go to 8:45. So is there any other option where I can attend this productivity coaching, or in some other time, or on weekends or something like that?
Great question. Great question. So for a number of reasons, we can address that a number of ways. The first is everything is recorded. So if you are not able to attend in the morning, but you have some free time at night, then you can, of course, watch the video at a convenient time for yourself. I'm in the very final stages of interviewing I don't want to call this person an assistant coach, but basically a partner coach. Okay. And they will be assisting with classes and all kinds of stuff. And we are looking to have a little bit more of a structured dual career option. So there likely would be an evening session, a live evening session, mastermind or something like that, or something over the weekends that would be available. I'm not in a position now to go into a ton of detail about that, but we definitely know that that is a need. And we want to service that need beyond just saying, go to the YouTube page. Make sense?
Yeah. So this evening or classes or whatever, so that will be in person, right? And
we're just kind of starting to do some in-person stuff. Most likely it would be Zoom. Like we just sent out an email a few days ago, I think, for the team meeting tomorrow. I think the first 12 people that responded to the team meeting to attend in person, they could come in person. Everyone else is going to be on Zoom. So we're trying to find the blend between, respecting people's desires to come together and respecting people's desires to not come together. Right?
Yeah, it's like sometime maybe I can attend the morning meetings, but maybe sometime because sometime I have meetings from 8 o'clock, so then it will clash, right? So that's why I was thinking if there's any other option, maybe later in the day or in the weekend.
So the morning sessions have always been 8:30 to 9. Again, those are recorded, so you can watch them whenever you'd like. Like I said, we are putting our success series is generally around lunchtime, so a lot of people can take their lunch at that time. If not, that's recorded. Our masterminds are generally outside of that hour too, so you can do your best to attend those. The very worst case scenario is the information and the footage is there, the video footage is there for you to review at your leisure. What we're trying to do though is give you some live opportunities to learn about everything we got to learn about: the contracts, the models, the scripts, the presentations, and all that kind of stuff. And then of course our one-on-ones can be scheduled at a time that's most convenient for your work schedule, that we are on those days we're basically like, okay, here's our goal for the week, here's the most important thing to focus on, here's 3 videos to watch, here we want to pay attention to this tracking, hey, go watch that video, hey, study this script, etc. So there's some group opportunity, of course, and then there's some one-on-one time as well.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other thoughts, questions?
Yeah, how like say we make an appointment for like, I don't know, 11 to 11:30 or whatever, because my availability is open, and then I actually have an agent who needs a emergency clearance letter for, wood infestation, and I got to take it at 11 because that's the only time they can, let me in or whatever. How easy is it to reschedule? Would I just say like, hey Bill, sorry, I got something that came up, I need to reschedule? Like, is that pretty flexible?
The short answer is yes. I mean, I'll show you something really fast. I'm not trying to tell you, I'm a fairly blunt guy, but I'm not trying to be strange here. Like, that's my calendar. Like, there's not a lot of free time, right? Like,
that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm scheduled to the max. So what I mean by showing you that is, yes, I mean, I could fill pretty much any slot that you might have to bail at the last minute. And I understand that that's sometimes the situation. What I would ask for, just to be, to give me as much notice as you can, right?
Yeah.
If you tend to have an opening, a little bit less stress early in the morning, let's schedule our one-on-ones early in the morning or after hours or during lunch or something like that. Yeah, I know with another job it can be challenging. I totally get that. I will tell you the thing that irritates me the most, and I don't get irritated that often, is just when somebody totally blows off a meeting, right? If you're gonna, this is a partnership. My motivation will match your motivation, right? But if you totally blow me off, that's not gonna sit so well. But if you say to yourself, hey, Bill, I'm so sorry, can we meet at a different time? I'll go out of my way to get it on the calendar.
Okay, cool.
If I'm like, hey, are you ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Where are you? Still want to meet? Oh, sorry, I totally forgot, blah, blah, blah. We're adults. I'm going to teach you how to keep a calendar. Make sense?
Yeah, no, and I'm pretty flexible. I got 2-hour windows in between my stops. So, I mean, you notice I've been able to accommodate everything you guys have asked me.
I've known you long enough to know I'm not worried about you.
Okay.
Right. But if I miss a meeting, call the cops. Something's going on.
That's why I texted you at 1:01. I thought it was 12 to 1 for a second. I'm like, oh no, I missed it. And then I wanted to make sure. I'm like, okay, cool. So
yeah, so I'm just saying, this is accountability.
Yep.
You guys, I'm not being in your face because I get off on being in your face. I'm being in your face because when you tell me that something's important to you, now it's important to me. And if I don't see that you're behaving the way that you need to behave to get it, you've asked me to alert you to that, right? I'm not gonna push you to a $200,000 a year annual goal if what you want is 100. But if what you want is 100 and you're working like a $15,000 agent, I'm gonna pull you aside and say, hey, when you run out of money, you can't come live with me. Okay, you got to get on the phone. Okay, this ain't working. I love you. Now get on the phone, right? Or change up your lifestyle, because you can't run around like this, right? If I followed you around all day, would I know you were a real estate agent? I don't know. Did you learn anything? Did you tell anyone? Right? My motivation is gonna match yours, right? Just don't make me wonder where you're at, right? The two things that annoy me the most are somebody blowing off a meeting and just not reporting your numbers. Come on, once a week, just take 2 minutes to have a reality check on how you're performing. Okay? Because if we don't acknowledge where we're at, we can't fix it. Okay? And by the way, that's if you're not meeting your goal. If we don't acknowledge the fact that you're way ahead of your goal, then you may not reward yourself as much as you should. Hey, go get your nails done in the middle of the day. Go play tennis in the middle of the day. You earned it. I got no beef with that. See what I'm saying? Go have a cocktail. You earned it. Okay. Any other thoughts, questions? What are we thinking?
Bill, I have 2 questions, if you don't mind. My first one is, So the YouTube training videos, the ones that you're recording each day, those are not open to all Keller Williams agents. Those are only open to the people who are in the productivity training with you. Is that correct?
Yes. So yes, but I want to just add to that slightly. So whenever you see the email newsletter, daily email newsletter from the office, all that stuff is available to all agents. The stuff I'm referring to is strictly the PC only activities, right? Ultimately you guys, if you decide to join, would be paying for the service when you're successful. So there's some exclusivity to that. Periodically, I might have somebody in to check out a session or something like that, but everyone that you see on the session is engaged, it is enrolled in the program.
Okay. All right. And then my other question was, so we talked about a lot about like us reaching our goals and everything like that. As our productivity coach, do you have specific goals that you want us to reach, or specific expectations that you want us to reach?
I already know I'm going to like you, Raven. This is going to be great. We're going to get along so well. Okay, check this out. Okay, so this is an example of our reporting page. Okay, so I think you asked me one question. I want to answer that one and then slightly one other one, which is if you walk into my office and say, hey, I want to sell 15 homes and make $130,000, I don't look at you and say, what's wrong with you? Don't you want to make 250? Let's run this play instead. That's not listening. That's not constructive, right? I'm going to get to know, as we get to know each other over time, and I understand what makes you tick and how you make decisions and how important your relationship is with time and money, and are you feeling satisfied, right? As you're growing your business, things will adjust slightly. My goal for you is not for you to walk in, I'm like, ooh, fresh piece of meat, let me set my own goals for this person. My goal is to ask you enough questions about yourself so you can identify what's important. Then I show you the plan you got to run in order to get there. Now, I do have some, does that make sense? Are you there? Does that make sense, Raven?
Yes, sorry about that.
Now, I'll show you, here are some of my plans for 2021. Now, in the month of January, my goal was for this group. My goal is to have 75 agents by the end of January. We were at 76. Okay. My goal is to have 3,498 contacts to sell 23 homes to create one capper. Okay. To take 65 appointments and take 41 listings, and to have gross commission income of that and company dollar of that. Okay. And then each month, I'm actually held accountable to the following things. Okay. Let's look at this real fast. In the month of January, our goal was 65, and most people haven't even reported for the last week in January because it just ended last night. But our goal was to have 65 appointments. We had 97 appointments. Okay. Our goal was to take 41 listings. We're close. We'll beat this though. We're at 37. Okay. 23 closed units. Middle of the month, we were at 10, and we're finalizing the month today and tomorrow. So we'll update that. Right. And then gross commission income, again, that's about half of the month. I'm also held to some other things: internal appointments, external appointments, internal people that come into the program, net people that come into the program, or that ultimately grow the program, and then attracting people to the office outside of Keller Williams, and how many dollars of company dollar come into the group. So just like I'm asking you guys to fill out these pages each week of number of contacts, database ads, pipeline ads, seller held, seller taken, buyer held, buyer taken, pendings, closings, I've got my stuff here to show you that this isn't just about your accountability. This is about what standard I'm held to, so that we can do this in partnership. Make sense? But the last thing I want to do is make you feel like your goals aren't good enough or something. Now, I'll tell you straight up if I think you can achieve more. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. I'm working with an agent in our group, and she has a very successful sales background. She doesn't necessarily need a lot of the money, but she set a goal of 8 sales. And so for the last couple of weeks, we've been working off this 8-sale plan. And every time we huddle, we're talking about, where she's at and what she's working on and that kind of stuff. And today I said, you're capable of more than 8 sales, right? And she's like, yeah, I knew that. Right. So sometimes we might have a conversation like that, but it's not typically going to be like, come on, what's wrong with you? You only want this. Why don't you want this? Right. The coach has to listen to know what they're trying to coach the person. Right. When I was growing my team and I'd go meet with the team leader and get coached, my conversation sounded a lot different than most of the conversations. Okay. I would walk in the room and say, look, I want to make 200 grand and work as little as possible. Okay. So last year I made 200 grand and I worked about 7 months out of the year. Show me the plan to work 6 months out of the year and make the same amount of money. I didn't want the go make $400,000 plan and hire a bunch of people and spend more time away from my little kids. See what I'm saying? So really all we got is time and money. So as you grow this business and as you learn more about what it takes to grow this business, you're going to kind of redefine how you think about time and how you think about money with the help of your coach, most likely. And then the question is how do we build a business that respects all the things that are important, right? So if you come to me and you say, look, money doesn't impact me. I'm doing this for this reason, then we can create a business that respects that, right? But if I know that you're capable of more, I might say to you, hey, it seems like you are capable of more. Am I missing something here? And you might say, yeah, I probably am, but I really enjoy having cocktails with my friends every day. How you doing financially? Financially, I'm awesome. Great. High fives all around. I'm not here to change your lifestyle. I'm here to make sure you can pay for it. Make sense? All right. Other thoughts, questions, concerns? Anything else? Next steps, guys. If it's okay with all of you, I can have Lee Fox. Lee Fox is our assistant Arcade Center administrator. Her and Aaron Putnam are in the administrative hallway. That's where their offices are. They're in charge of the money. So all the earnest money checks, all the DAs, pay at closes, commission checks, all that stuff. Budgeting, that's their domain. Lee will be sending over the productivity coaching contract to review. There's one little change that I'm making to it. Just I need to add like 2 words. So it'll probably be a little bit later today. And please take a look at that. Please review that. If you have any questions, obviously let me know. As soon as you autograph it, then I will send you out I always send an email to the group once a week, kind of giving you the calendar for the week and, kind of reminding you about some of the concepts that we reviewed in the past and reminding you about some of the concepts that we're going to be reviewing in the upcoming week. So I'll send you that. We'll schedule an intro session where we do kind of a little orientation privately and then get you on the calendar for the 15-minute session as well. If you have any questions you want to discuss privately, I've texted all of you individually, so feel free to call or text as well. Okay. All right. This is a lot of fun. I love speaking to agents that are like you. I mean, this is a day that hopefully you'll be looking back on with a huge smile in the future. And I love the opportunity to help you build your business. I'm super passionate about that and being your partner. So welcome to the office. I'm looking forward to getting into business with you guys. Take care.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.